Hey kitty girl, it's the 2024 Jaguar F-Type R75 convertible, and I have it on the channel today. Can you believe it? I sure can't. I would sing the RuPaul song, but I don't want to get docked for copyright, so welcome back. Welcome back to Sparkplug TV. My name is Chris and I do car reviews for literally everybody, not just car enthusiasts. As always, before I begin today's video, please don't forget to like this video, comment something down below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I'm not driving a Jaguar F-Type R75 convertible. Thank you for your support. Well, I have some bad news. This is unfortunately the very last year for the F-Type R or the F-Type in general. You heard that correctly. And it's also the brand's 75th anniversary this year, which means they're going to be dropping 2 special edition F-Types to not only send it off, but celebrate the brand's identity. Now, this is the R75, but it will also be offered in the regular 75, but those are the 2 special edition options. And let's get into it some more, shall we? For the final send-off year of the F-Type, it's going to come in 9 different trim levels starting around $79,000. The top tier model, which is this one, or the R75 P575 convertible, is going to come in around $116,000 starting MSRP. Now, this Monroney comes in around $120,000, but that's because it does have a few special added packages to it that I'll get into in a little bit. Other than that, we are looking at the special edition 20-inch wheels that are absolutely stunning. They are sitting on Pirellis. Most people that I've been around don't really like the Pirellis. I'm kind of not really a fan of them either, but that's what they come with. And this Giola green is also a special edition for the R75. This Giola green is like the weirdest and coolest teal color I've seen since the teal that they put on that Corvette C4 back in the 90s. It is incredible, honestly. Now, the other special edition badging that you'll see for the R75s is going to be the F-Type silhouette that they're going to have for the exterior and the interior specialty badging. It's a little much, you know, but it's there. Let's keep going. Y'all want to see my favorite part about the 2024 Jaguar F-Type R? Well, it's under this quintessential front hinged Jaguar hood. And it is the supercharged 5.0 liter V8 that outputs 575 horsepower, thus the P575 name badge, and 516 pound-feet of torque, eliciting 0 to 60 of 3.5 seconds, tied to an all-wheel drive drivetrain and an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, you can get it in the rear-wheel drive, but this is the only powertrain that you're available with the Jaguar F-Type, which is incredible, honestly. Now, the base models get a lower output engine, but this is the highest output that they offer, and oh my god, does it sound so good. Now, for this portion of the video, I am gonna have to sit down because I am so tall and this thing is so low to the ground. It's kind of ridiculous. It did get a redesign in 2021 where the headlamps used to kind of traipse up the hood, whereas now they kind of sit flush with the front fascia. The front grille got a little bit of a redesign. They kind of combined the 2 side air vents into one giant air vent on each driver and passenger side. And I really love the way that this looked. And I also really liked the way that the other one looked as well. I think that they both have really good qualities about them. But I am more of a modern girly when it comes to design language, and I really do like the way that this one looks. I think that my only qualm about it is the fact that it doesn't really come with as many like luxurious or modern touches. Like, it doesn't really greet you when you walk up to it. It doesn't really have any like logo projectors on the ground. There's just not, I mean, you can literally see this EQS behind me, this AMG. It literally like goes wow when you walk up to it. And it's gimmicky, but it's funny, and it's kind of a party trick, and it's kind of cool. Now, this is kind of a party trick in and of itself, which is great. But that's like it's so pedantic, and I know that, but it's just a little thing that I wish that they kind of implemented in this year. It does come with one party trick, however. On the key fob, if you press it, you can light up the front lights, and then it kind of dances away when you press the button again. Speaking to the back end of the Jaguar F-Type R, I really love the way that the back end looks, and I think that the designers did too, because they really didn't do much to it when they redesigned it in 21, and I kind of appreciated that. They did a little bit of design change to the bottom bumper, where the quad exhausts are, and they did kind of digitize the rear LED tail lamps a little bit. They made them a little bit more angular as opposed to the rounded out ones on the older models. This one does also come with an active rear wing that pops up around 60 miles an hour, but you also can manually control it. And if you are going away for the weekend like I have, it does have at least 14.4 cubic feet of storage in the back, with which I have fit at least 2 large duffel bags in the back, as well as a copious amounts of my shoes because I love shoes. Now there is one other party trick that I did forget to mention about the Jaguar F-Type, and that is the door handles. Now when you lock the vehicle, they sit flush with the actual door itself, which gives it a much more sleeker kind of look. If you unlock it, it will pop out and it will showcase the Jaguar name on the actual door handle themselves. That's pretty interesting. The other interesting thing is that you do have a soft top convertible with this version, and it takes, from my calculations, it's taken about 11 seconds for this to kind of propel itself forward and latch itself. You don't have to do any latching, it does it automatically, and you can do it around 30 miles an hour maximum. Now, if you were to count the windows, probably around 13 seconds or 14, but 11 seconds to get the roof on and latched. Oh, okay, well, I guess we might as well talk about the inside since I'm in here. Now, when you do close the door, the start-stop button actually flashes with a heartbeat kind of motif to it, kind of getting you prepared for your blood to pump when you actually start the vehicle. Another cool little party trick is when you start the vehicle, the vents in the center, if the AC is on, will actually pop up out of the dashboard, which is kind of gimmicky, kind of cool at the same time. I think that those will eventually break and will probably be pretty costly when you do eventually have to fix them. Now, when it comes to the interior in general, I mean, this tan leather is to die for, especially with the white stitching and the black accents and the silver on these sport bucket seats that are an option, and then like just the quilted style leather on the back of the seats as well as on the door paneling. I mean, it's just so gorgeous. There's even Alcantara up here. This is a quintessential Jaguar steering wheel. You can find this in some other Jaguars as well as the older one. The air vents have Jaguar on them. They have memory seating on both the driver and the passenger side. It's got a fully digital gauge cluster that is really cool. It's only got it's only technically got 3 different drive modes. It's got slippery, wet, and snow, and then it's got the dynamic mode, and then in the center is just normal mode. So when you switch it into dynamic, it's a slide, and it will light up the dynamic racing logo, and then it will change the gauge cluster to a more red, blood pumpy kind of thing. Now, if you just kind of put it back into normal mode, it will kind of just, you know, make itself just a little bit more tame. And then when you put it up into snow and ice, it will kind of elicit a snow and ice motif on the gauge cluster. Other than that, I really love the white stitching. When you get into the glove box, you hit this Jaguar little button, and then it opens up the glove box. Now that glove box is really quintessential because there really is not a whole lot of storage in here. Now it's got these cup holders right here, and I've been putting like my wallet and my phone in there. And then this is the tiniest center console. I literally cannot fit it. I can't even fit my phone in there. Now you can see here that it does have the R75 special edition logo right there. The seats are comfy, 6'5", and I fit pretty well in here, honestly. It's got the Land Rover style dials for the HVAC system, all tactile, but, you know, still really kind of technologically cool. So when you get to the heated and ventilated seats, you press a button on the temperature control, and then you can either dial it this way or you can dial it that way for heated seats. That's pretty cool, and you can find those in some Land Rover products as well. Now, this operating system is, of course, quintessential Land Rover. It is a 10-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Anyways, yeah, it's a surprising, really nice place to be, but how does it drive? I am going to put the top down here in a second because you're not really going to be able to hear just how loud the exhaust is when you put it into dynamic mode, and that valve fully opens up, and the gurgle that comes out from the back of it is just insane. Now, I'm going over railroad tracks right now. Now, it's great on the highway, but the suspension is so stiff when it comes to just regular driving. It is actually kind of aggressive. Anyway, it's good for this. The sheer insanity that this powertrain offers is incredibly fun, but as a passenger, it's even more intense, especially when you don't have control over the steering wheel. Now again, back to the suspension. I mean, it's a great suspension for performance. It's honestly a really tight, pristine engine, especially for a front engine sports car. It's really good. You can't even tell. Here we go. All right, let's take this corner. Oh my God, the all-wheel drive drivetrain is truly something to behold. This whole thing is something to behold. Whew. Well, that's the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell icon so that you get notified whenever I drop a new video, which is whenever I can. What do I have to compare this to? I've driven the Maserati Gran Turismo, and I've driven the Audi R8. And I've driven the Plaid S2, which is pretty fast. There is something so special about this car. And just the powertrain is just to die for. It is literally to die for. Now the Audi R8's V10, that was incredible too, but there's something about a big block V8 and supercharged on top of that that is just so quintessential, and oh God, I love it so much. No complaints on the transmission. The ride is probably the only thing that I would complain about from like a daily perspective. I do wish it did have a bit more of a like dampening feature, or if it just was a little bit more supple on a day-to-day kind of thing. I think it would make it a little bit more palatable in that sense. But where it's tight in day-to-day use, it's perfect when it comes to dynamic driving. I can't get over this car. I don't want to give this car back. It's honestly been so much fun to drive. And I didn't mention this earlier, but the other kind of thing that I don't really like about it is the Meridian sound system. Not really the best sound system that I've experienced in a luxury car. I've definitely, like the Burmeister is a really great sound system for the Mercedes, and Harman Kardon is pretty good too, but this Meridian is like, it's okay. It's got good bass notes, but the treble is not really there. Other than that, that's it. That's all I got. My adrenaline is like all over the place. So I'm gonna go back and do some B-roll, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hey Sparks, thanks for watching today's video. Do you want more Sparkplug TV content? Then you can choose one of these 3 options. Right over here. The middle button is to subscribe to my channel, so please do that. Right over here. These 3. I can't see them in real life, but they're right here.